if you see Ramayana, there is very less that is written from the perspective of Sita. How she was as a person, how she was, what characters made her so strong, was the inner qualities that she had and the challenges that she faced all across her life, not only in 14 years of Vanvas, but all across her life.
Hi, Pabla. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here because I think you're one of the most unique personalities I've ever met. And I'm lucky to have met you at Uttarkashi once,
Yeah.
Yeah, you were doing your mountaineering course.
Yeah.
And I was just about to start it. And after that, I had checked all of your videos on YouTube. One that especially resonated with me was the Trambakeshwar one, That's when I became part of Pabla's world, actually. So let me just ask you the most important question nowadays you're being asked. I think it's the most asked question in your life right now, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So Pabla is doing this wonderful thing called Sita Ka Vanvas or Sita Ki Khoj, where she's going to travel to all the places where Mata Sita actually traveled during her Vanvas. So Pabla, could you just elaborate a little more about this?
Sure. So I am doing this journey. I'm a YouTuber basically, and I'm a travel YouTuber. So I was traveling since many years. It's been 6 to 7 years I was traveling. I've traveled to all the 28 states of India. But then I thought, and most of them were solo. Some of them were with friends, some of them were with my relatives. But most of these trips were solo. And I used to learn a lot during these trips. Because when I was a kid, I was very bad at geography and history. Like, I used to get bored with all those textbooks. Yeah. So I thought that the best way to explore life and to explore geography and history is also to go there, visit there, and learn from experience. Because from textbooks, you can get bookish knowledge, but you cannot, at least for me personally, I cannot remember that for a long time until and unless I feel that. So that's how I started traveling, and I had amazing experiences during my first solo trip. That was again back in 2016, and that time very few people, especially girls, they didn't used to go out solo that much. Now though it's a craze. Yeah, and that trip was life changing. Then once you start traveling solo, you get kind of addicted to it, because that freedom, those experiences of meeting people, you just get addicted to it. And I started a YouTube channel back in 2016 itself. One of my friends suggested me that if you are traveling so much, do start your channel. So now in 2023, after like 7 years, and because I was new to filmmaking, I was new to making videos, I was new to digital marketing and all these things which are required to be a content creator. So I kept on learning that, and recently I did a course in acting, also in filmmaking from FTII. And now I thought it's the right time to take that leap of getting full time into content creation and filmmaking. So I thought, let's do Ram Vanvas Yatra, because it's like Ayodhya is also, the temple is also opened again. But then when I was reading, I was researching about it, then I realized that like even the Ramayana, Tulsidas Ramayana, and other Ramayanas, most of them are written by males. And you see like many Indian mythological textbooks, most of the writers are males. So the perspective from which all these are written are from the male's perspective. And if you see Ramayana, there is very less that is written from the perspective of Sita. Even though there are a lot of things that are written about Sita, but it's not from the perspective of Sita. So I thought that let's go and explore the life of Sita, just instead of going on Vanvas path, which I think a lot of other people nowadays are doing as well, and it'll become common in like let's say 1 year because of the Ayodhya route. And every woman that I have met till now on this journey, like especially when I went to Mithila, the kind of dress they wear, the kind of first language they speak, because Sita Mata was from Mithila. Now it's in between, like it's some of the parts are in India, some of the parts are in Nepal. But the kind of ladies I met there, वो एक बोलते हैं ना कि उनकी छवि जो सीता माता की छवि है वो अभी उनमें दिखती है. तो कहीं ना कहीं in every one of the women in India and even Nepal, I'll say, Sita Mata is still alive. So yes, and if you see the life of Sita Mata, it's very challenging. Like even though we say that she was a goddess of devotion, she was a goddess of tyag jise कहते हैं, but when we really explore it, when we really see it from her perspective, it's not just tyag and devotion. It's a lot more strength that it takes to live in Vanvas, and because it was optional for her to go on Vanvas. Like she could have happily stayed in Ayodhya as a queen. But then she went ahead with Rama, so that was a choice that she made, and it needs a lot of strength. Even though after giving Agni Pariksha, she was most of the time she was in forest, and she raised her kids alone at that time. So how difficult it would have been for her. And still, so she was always full of life. She used to love nature, even though she had a lot of challenges. But she made these challenges an opportunity to learn more, to grow more, to get into spirituality more. And even if you see Love Kush, there was time when Love Kush was actually in a war with Lakshmana, and उन्होंने लक्ष्मण को भी अनकॉन्शियस कर दिया था. तो उतने लेवल का वाल्मीकि जी ने उनको वो शिक्षा दिया था. So that is not because of, and कहीं ना कहीं that is not only because of Valmiki, it's because of Sita Mata also, because the kind of strength she has. So yeah, so that is what inspired me to go on this journey, to know her, like how she was as a person, how she was, what characters made her so strong, what was the inner qualities that she had, and the challenges that she faced all across her life, not only in 14 years of Vanmas, but all across her life. So I started from Sitamani. That's in India. That's a place in Bihar where she was born. As in, she was not born, मतलब मटके में मिली थी. She was found there. And then I went to Janakpur, जहाँ पे she was raised. Then, again, I'll be traveling from Ayodhya till Sri Lanka and coming back to the place जहाँ पे वो धरती में समा गई थी. And I have already started this journey, and I am really excited for the rest of it as well.
Yeah, and we are also excited to be part of it, because the way you're communicating and telling the stories to all of your audience, I think it's incredible. And I think you're also going to write a book about it, right?
Yes, I will share my experiences through a book, and I'll also try to make a 1-hour movie as well, 1.5
Yeah.
to show all the struggles that she faced and her strength.
Right. So like you said, you went to her birthplace, Sitamani, which is in Bihar, right? And you also went to the places where she kind of spent her childhood. So are there any stories that you collected from those areas about her childhood? Because mostly Sitaji's character is introduced in Ramayana when she's adult, she's ready to marry. So how was her childhood? What were some specific stories about her childhood?
Yeah, so there are many stories that I came to know about her, especially in Janakpur. In Janakpur, there are a lot of kunds these days. There are a lot of, it's a place of lot of kunds. And now it's been developed like every other city, every other country, every other place. But I came to know about कि वहाँ पे बहुत सारे बगीचे जिसे कहते हैं कि there used to be a lot of gardens. She used to play there. And being there, you can imagine, I went to Mani Mandap, a place where Sita and Ramji got married. And that place is so raw still, and like you can feel that presence of, so you can feel that energy at those places, that there must have been some things, some कुछ तो spirituality वहाँ पे जाके feel होती है. Like I cannot explain that in words, so उसके लिए तो you'll have to go yourself and see it. But there are many stories related to her childhood. मतलब इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है. That is what I wanted to say. Because एक तो रामायण काल बहुत पुराना है, सो हमारे पास कोई टेक्स्ट भी इतने ज़्यादा नहीं है कंपेयर टू जो राम जी की स्टोरीज हैं, वो बहुत है. लेकिन सीता माता की स्टोरीज बचपन की बस इतना ही ज़्यादा तो मैं नहीं ढूंढ पाई. मैं भी लाइक आई वाज एबल टू ओनली नो अबाउट हर फ्रेंड्स, उनकी सिस्टर्स, मतलब जो बहुत कॉमन चीज़ें हैं वो ही मुझे पता चली. बट वो एज अ पर्सन कैसी थी, आई स्टिल अभी तक आई कुड नॉट फाइंड. आई एम डूइंग दैट रिसर्च, बट इतना पता है कि शी वॉज अ प्रिंसेस, एंड बिकॉज जनक जी की पुत्री थी, एंड ही वॉज अ किंग ऑफ मिथिला दैट टाइम. एंड उनकी एक बहुत अच्छी फ्रेंड थी जिनके साथ शी यूज्ड टू प्ले, एंड बाद में उनकी वो फ्रेंड आई थिंक उनके साथ अयोध्या भी आई थी. And also she was a single child. She did not have any brothers and sisters. So Urmila was a brother and sister. And she used to love nature. उनको nature से बहुत ज़्यादा प्यार था. She used to love animals, birds. And because she was found like goddess of धरती, भूमि की देवी कहते हैं ना उनको. So that is what I was able to find and feel also. And especially the trees, the vibes and the trees. Whenever I went to Sitamani, the first thing I noticed is trees. And also she's the goddess of agriculture. कृषि की भी देवी कहा जाता है. But मुझे ये सब चीज़ें नहीं पता थी. But still I was able to notice that beauty in nature there, feel that spirituality. So yeah, there must be something.
So how far is Sitamani or Janakpur from Ayodhya? if you were to imagine, how many days did it take for them to travel from Jaipur to Ayodhya? Can we measure that?
So it would have taken a lot of time, I'm sure. But the thing is, it was not. Now it's in Nepal, but that time it was in Mithila. In Mithila, matlab Nepal or India, there was no division. It was safe. So I cannot say the number of days because I don't know what kind of infrastructure it would have been at that time. But if you want to go right now, so it's not that far. You will be able to reach in around 12 hours or 15 hours, something like that. From Sitamani, because Sitamani is almost at the border of Bihar, and next, like I went from Sitamani to Janakpur. It took me around 5 hours to reach from Sitamani to Janakpur. Yeah, it's not
okay. I saw your YouTube videos about these travels, and they're very interesting. You're traveling in trains, you're traveling in local rickshaws, and you're staying with the locals,
Yeah.
Like Pabla, you've been traveling alone for like 6-7 years, so the level of confidence is something different. But as somebody who's traveling solo for the first time or just traveling to another state, they are a little skeptical, hesitant about things.
Yeah.
How to talk to locals, all these things, there are a lot of inhibitions. So what would you say about that? How do you, erase those limits and just go on and experience that place to the fullest?
I was a very reserved kid when I was small. I didn't used to talk to people so much. But then when I started traveling, and I actually have done my education also from different places, like and also my jobs at different places, and that was the time when I started interacting with people. Because nowadays many of us, like even girls, we go and we study at different places. So even when you're traveling, you will come across many people, and I can suggest you that please try and stay in hostels. Because in hostels you get like chill kind of people, your kind of people. You'll be able to find those are travelers, and those are open-minded people. So you can start with that, and when you go there, you'll automatically find many good people, and you'll be able to. Because see, what happens is all these inhibitions are our inhibitions till we start something. But once we actually are on that journey, it becomes easier. Because that's why that's the beauty of solo traveling. You can interact with anyone without having that fear of judgment. Because when you're with your friends, let's say if someone is not good at communicating, if someone is not good at English, or if someone is not good at Hindi, let's say, or any language, we have that inhibition sometimes. Or also, if not language barriers, if we have, all of us have some strengths, and all of us are bad in something. So when we are traveling in group, first of all, we tend to stay in group. And another thing is, we don't to people so much. Maybe either the fear of judgment, or we don't feel that need to talk to people because we are happy in our group. But when you travel solo, you won't have people around. So that's the beauty, that you can do anything you want to. Like if you are willing, you can interact with shopkeepers, you can interact with a lot of local people, which you would otherwise not be able to. And that's what will actually help you gaining a lot of knowledge about different places. So please step ahead and do that.
And I think it's also important to keep your assumptions out of the way, because for example, you mentioned in your video one day that when you're going to Bihar, you had an image that was shown in Mirzapur.
Yeah.
But real Bihar is totally different. So that was your discovery on that journey.
Yeah.
So I think leaving those assumptions and judgments out would be a best way to go about
that.
And you have traveled to all the states in India, 28.
Yeah.
So which was the most challenging for you?
I think challenging is Bihar, Jharkhand, all these places only, because very few people go there as travelers. So as a traveler, it's quite difficult because the hostels are not there, and especially being a solo female traveling to these places, it's little bit difficult compared to other places like Goa or like Himachal, where there are a lot of options available for travelers. So especially in Jharkhand, when I went, I was very scared myself. And it still happens whenever I go on my any solo trip. I am scared, because that's how we are as humans. We are always scared to take that first step. And there was only one hostel in that place where the entire city, only one backpacker hostel was there. And like, it was my bad luck or good luck, I don't know. But that hostel was under renovation. So I was clueless where to go, because I didn't want to stay in hotels in Jharkhand. So then I somehow found a PG, and I stayed in a girls' PG. I stayed there with them, and it was a very nice experience. I was there for 3-4 days, and then I also made some awesome friends who are college kids, and still my friends till today. They showed me the whole Jharkhand around. and they took me to places which I would not have been able to go myself. And also one day when I was traveling alone, what happened, I was traveling through bus, and like a bus dropped me at a particular place, and wahan se it was very interiors. I was going to some waterfall, and then I was not able to find anything, and I had to hitchhike at that place in Jharkhand.
Oh,
So I was really scared to do that, and but because I was skeptical of the people there, so I made sure that I am in safe hands. So I, even though I felt bad, but I still asked that person his ID card because he himself came, saw me, and he asked me that I'm also going on the same way. Can I drop you somewhere? But then I asked him like, who's that person? Do you like why are you going there? So agar if you're doing hitchhiking as a girl now, so it's really important to take care of your safety as well. And even though you will feel bad कि उनकी identity उनसे कैसे पूछेंगे, या फिर मैंने literally उनसे उनका office का I card पूछा था because he told me that he's going there for some official purpose, and he was also willing to show that because he knew that I am skeptical and I am a little bit afraid being a traveler. So he then like I went with him पूरा वो रास्ता जो है till the, and it was a very lonely road. So I had to take that risk in a lot of times in my 28 states का travel. But then थोड़ा सा smartness के साथ you can do that as a traveler.
so was it always on your goal list to do all the 28 states?
Yeah.
Or it just happened?
I wanted to do that since long, but that's what we are not able to believe in ourselves a lot of times. But after lockdown, my job was also remote, so I thought let's utilize this opportunity to travel.
Yes. So you mentioned that you also have learned formally the filmmaking, the art of filmmaking. I think it's actually a science, right?
Yes.
So how is that experience, and how did you make a decision to learn it actually? Because nowadays everyone has a phone, they turn into a cameraman anytime.
Yeah.
But you made a choice and you made an effort to learn it properly. So how was that decision reached?
So as I was making content since last 5-6 years, I learned editing like through YouTube and different places online. But then I thought like if I want to make a career in this, I have to grow, I have to keep updating my skills, and that's not possible like online always now, even though there are a lot of courses. But if you go to the best institute, and like as I have done my engineering from BITS Pilani, so I know how a best institute shapes you. So and the offline, like even though everything is online now, but when you learn something offline, like it's impactful because, and I was doing a residential course, so I was there for 2 months with all the filmmakers in group and the trainers. 24/7 we were just talking about films, either seeing films or learning through films or making films or shooting. So that is the kind of environment you need to grow in any field, I'll say. Like that's why the colleges, engineering colleges are there. That's why the any college is there, and everyone knows like those 4 years of our lives are the best years, because not only because we grow in a particular field, but we also grow as a person in that whole area which we are choosing to. Because the kind of interactions which we have with our friends on that particular topic, it creates a lot of impact. And also, if you learn something professionally, it'll show in your work also. And, yeah. So it's always, and there's a lot of competition these days, so it's always better to keep updating. And I still think I don't know anything now. I have to keep updating and keep learning. So that's, even with every video I'm trying, I improve some percentage with every video I'm learning.
Like you said, in this industry, like travel blogging or vlogging in general, there's a lot of competition. That's perhaps because of the ease of the process of making it, possibly, or access to equipment.
Yeah.
It's become a little easier than it was, say, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So you've been here for like a long time. 7 years is a good time to understand the industry, the ins and outs of it, the goods and bads of it. So if someone is just starting out in this business, let's not call it business, this passion, this project, with passion to pursue their goal, just to express themselves. So what should they focus on at this stage?
So initially, we have a lot of hiccups in starting everything, and we wait for the right time. So I would say right time never comes, and just start posting. Just start posting, because each day you'll keep getting better at it. And because if you will wait for the right time, no, your entire life will go like that. And please don't hesitate. Maybe your friends won't like it for the first time, but if they see that you're improving every time, they'll also come and congratulate for the hard work that you're putting in. And you should never be afraid of the judgments, because like even though you'll put your great work, no, someone or else will not like it. And another thing is, whatever your passion is, just try to follow it with your job initially, and then once you get better at it, and if you are ready to do that full time, pursue that full time, and once you start posting, you will realize that you need to learn more, and you will yourself now like everything is available online, so you'll figure out the ways once you just need to start.
And I'm sure, it comes from observing other travel content creators as well. Like travel is your niche, so I'm saying travel content creator, but you learn from others' work as well, right?
That's true.
So if I were to ask you, who are your favorite content creators in travel niche, who would you name?
I like the way Tanya Khanjao, then I like the videos of Ankit Bhatia as well, Traveling Mondays. So I really like their videos, and even Monkey Magic, the kind of storytelling he does, that's great.
So after all these years in traveling solo, mostly so you travel solo, right? So you said you remember your first trip and your latest trip to your journey to Sita Ji's Vanvas. So what are the 3 things that have changed in you as a person? What's your observation about yourself?
So this trip I'm not doing solo. This trip I'm doing with another.
Okay, you have a
I have
yeah.
with whom I'm traveling to all these places, because this trip is for especially for creating for some purpose and a project that I've taken up, and I will not be able to do all that alone. So that's why we decided to collaborate on this particular project. Otherwise, the difference that I see in myself is the confidence of traveling, especially. So now I can travel to any place in the world alone. And somewhere my value systems and belief systems have also changed, because I now know that we should not judge anyone. As we say that, don't judge the book by its cover. So that's true in life also, because I've seen many people from different perspectives. I've interacted with many people from different cultures, and everyone has their own story, and they hide that, and some people just show that, some people hide that, but we cannot judge people in the first impression. So that these are 2 things. And also I will say I've become braver. I was very scared during my first solo trip, and now I have that strength and I'm little brave. So
yeah. I always believe that traveling is the best education you can give yourself, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So what are your plans after this filmmaking project that you're doing in Sita Ji's Vanvas? What are your next plans? Or what are your general plans? Which are the places you want to go?
So because I'm not sure how much time will this project take, I think it'll at least take 4 or 5 months. And that I will continue with some other projects, as in some other series I'll start. But I'm not exactly sure what that will be. And because now I have thought that I'll not travel just because of traveling, I'll travel with a purpose for some years at least. Obviously, I have some mini breaks and I'll go to some place and chill. But otherwise, because it's a lot of hard work, I'm not getting, I just sleep for very few hours these days, and entire days goes into editing, shooting, planning. So it's a lot of hard work, because when we see those videos or any videos that any content creator is making, especially travel videos, because otherwise the videos editing is not that difficult, but especially for travel videos and storytelling videos, it's quite difficult. But otherwise I have no plans, I'd say. What I'll be not the 5 months, but I know that I'll be doing something related to filmmaking and traveling itself.
So I just want to thank you and wish you all the best for all of your journeys in future. I mean, you're doing really great work and you should keep doing it. So all the best to you.
So much.
And make sure all of you just check out her page. I'm going to link Pabla's Instagram as well as her YouTube channel in the description box. So please check it out. You're going to love it. Trust me.
And I'll just, the last thing that I want to say is keep traveling, keep exploring, keep learning. And we just have one life. So do whatever you want.
Yes.
So,
yes. All right. Thank you so much, Pabla.
Yeah, thanks a lot.